Thanks again for staying with us on the show, TMI, as we continue our countdown discussion on the Edo 2016 governorship election. Just to remind you that today being Thursday, 1st September 2016, Nigeria is expected to experience partial solar eclipse. And earlier on the show, we had a chat with the youths, the guys from the Center for Atmospheric Research of the National Space Research and Development Agency, Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, AIMBA, Nigeria. They were here earlier to educate us on it, and they recommended that it's not wise to try to see the eclipse with the naked eyes. It could injure your eyes, and there is a special glasses designed for it. I have one, and in case you want to use my glasses, just come around, let's discuss business. Anyway, that's on the lighter side. I have Obede Ifalu Yesibo joining us now. He's a member of the People's Democratic Party, the youth arm, who is also vitally involved on the campaign of the PDP in this election. Gentlemen, many thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Now, before Dr. Roland Edosa left, I have a question. What are the major determinants on the outcome of this election? He responded before he left, and I said, okay, let's wait for Ifalu to come before we take your response. Yeah. Yes, probably we'll kick off the discussion on that plant.
Yes, I think the chances for both candidates, or for my candidate. Anyway, for my candidates, it's very obvious that Edo politicians or Edo electorates, even politicians who needed development, have tested both politicians and have also tested those that were said not to be politicians. And they've seen the results from both angles. And the results of Adam Saliu Shomole have proven that you don't have to be a DNI'd politician to being able to deliver to the ordinary people. And with that performance that His Excellency, the Comrade Governor, has performed, they have resolved that at the level of governorship, they may not need a very DNA'd politician. They would need people who would have the agenda of the people. And that agenda, Obaseki is in tune with. He's a technocrat. He's a well-known business manager. He's humble. He's not desperate. When you talk about disposition to people, a man who listens, that I have seen in Godwin. I have not, even before the major struggle, I have not been that very close to Godwin, but within the period I became close to our governorship candidate, I have seen a man with a large heart, you know, and that many Edo people have seen. Virtually in all the rallies he has been to, in short, he went around virtually all the wards before his primary, and after the primary, the May campaign, he has also gone the second time. A man with a lot of energy, a man who does not just speak because he needed to speak, but very reserved. You know, reserved in a position or in a way that, you know when you talk too much, sometimes you just say things you ought not to say. But this man, you know, when he says A, you are just confident that his A is his A. And that, I think, Edo people need. A man who has his connection beyond the local concept. So his scope of connection grew a low Edo scope. So he is an international investor. He has helped people to invest and show people that opportunity of having those relationships would be well invested in it when he takes over. Okay. People have seen this, and the reason that they have decided to test a very fresh blood, you know, who have been seen not to be politician, as many will acclaim, because once you try, you don't know them. That he's going to be giving a try. Edo people in advance will say thank you for this confidence you already, you know, imposing. All right,
if only you've been nodding your head, probably in agreement with what he said.
Well, yes. Well, it's an impossibility to be in agreement with what he has said, because step by step, line upon line, precept upon precept, he has just been joking, if you ask me. You see, you ask what are the determining factors for the forthcoming elections. And I was answered simply, the Edo people are going to express their displeasure. They're going to express the hardship they've been facing. They're going to express their frustrations. They're going to express their intimidations. They're going to express the poverty at an unprecedented level, hardly ever seen since after the Civil War in Edo State today and Nigeria in general. So if you go around Benin City and Edo State asking people what they think will be the determining factor, it will be to chase away those who have raped the state for the last 8 years. And that's what it is. And they are happy that redemption is coming. They are happy that hope is coming. They are happy that there's someone who is coming they can trust, someone who they can believe in, someone who has not failed before, someone who understands their problems. You see, there's something different when you have a father who was there when you were born, who saw you grow up. He will understand the kind of person you are. Not a father who came when you're already an adult to tell you that, oh, I'm not like the average kind of father. I can do this and do that. No, you can't trust him. Izeyamo was born in Edo State, schooled in Edo State, married in Edo State, and has lived all his life in Edo State, has employed hundreds of Edo people, so he understands the problem. Not an alien who just came in all of a sudden and says, I want to be a governor. No. What are your track records? What are you known for? My brother just talked about someone who has helped people, who has helped rich people to continue to make merchandise of poor people in an attempt to amass wealth. That is not what Edo people need. We want a man who understands us. And he has come up with an agenda. He has told you that in these sectors of your life, I can improve it. He has told you that you need better security for better businesses. He has told you that we need social welfare. We deserve a social welfare package from our government. The welfare and security of the people are the primary purpose of government, and that has been at a very low level in the past 8 years. Let me shock you. A few weeks ago, the United States of America released a report urging U.S. citizens in Nigeria not to go to about 20 different states. They were listed there. Edo State was number 4 on that list. That because of the rate of insecurity in Edo State, they are advising Americans not to go to those states, including Edo State. And we've had a government that has appropriated over 40 billion naira in the past 8 years as security votes. And yet we're having even some states who are ravaged by the Boko Haram were not even listed. So how has security benefited Edo people? What are the businesses that have thrived in Edo State? We know how people like God is Good and the others, Alpha Furniture, how they were extinguished all of a sudden. Those are businessmen who were employing people, businesses that were thriving. So security, this is number 1 priority. Then talk about infrastructural development, manpower development, public-private partnership. The one that interests me the most is leadership, by example. That is what Nigerians lack. We don't have leaders. In fact, so many people have summarized the failure of Nigeria to the failure of leadership. And that has been the bane of the level of poverty and hardship in Edo State today. We have no leader. There's virtually no person in government today that Edo youths can point to say, yes, I want to be like this man. And that is what we're bringing to the board. That's what we're bringing to the fore. And we're talking about empowerment and employment. Engaging Edo youths. When a young man is engaged, he won't have the time for violence. When he's engaged, his mind is engaged. So he wants to be productive. That is what we have not seen in Edo State. You see, it saddens me, in all sincerity, that Edo State has about the highest level of thuggery in Nigeria today. That has never been the case before. We grew up in this place. We know what Edo State used to be like, where you have sound minds. You know, young people now wanting to contribute to developing a society. That's not what we see today. Now, most of Edo youths now pride themselves in how well they can use weapons, how well they can harass market women, how well they can beat up bus drivers, how well they can... It has become a triumph of mediocrity in Edo State. And we all should be ashamed of it. Okay. It doesn't matter the party you belong to. And that is why we have come with a plan, a well-structured, thought-out, detailed plan on how to rescue Edo people. Some people have said, oh, we don't want to go back to Egypt. But this is what the Edo people think. Today, Edo people feel they're in hell. So going to Egypt is a lot better for them. Let us go back to Egypt, where at least we can have a leader that can understand our problems and that can help us solve our problems. And that's what Pastor Sergei Zayam is all about.
All right, it raised some key issues because the role or roles of youths in this election is very, very key.
Very.
Yes, and we want to see youths eschew violence as far as this election is concerned. Would you say we have given enough attention to the youths to be able to conscientize them enough to take them away from that kind of mentality and attitude or disposition to this election?
Yes, before I answer, let me wish Edo people well.
I hope when you are through responding to some of the issues, you remember the question that
let me pray that my friend Ifalui will not wish Edo people bad by asking us to go back to Egypt. The Egyptians we see yesterday, may Edo people never see it again.
But why? So Egypt is better than...
You cannot ask them to go back to Egypt. He has told Edo people he wish them back to Egypt, but they will not go there, my friend. God bless you. Just to say, he talked about Togri, that level of Togri is high, you know, today in the state. He was emphatic about the state. That means my friend has not gone around other states. If you go to here, you will know that Edo is an center.
So which means you are admitting that what the rate of Togri in Edo State is high. That's yeah. So which means you are admitting that.
Okay. There is no Togri in what together in one community relations. Opportunity God has given me, haven't been in government. All youth, you know, when it comes to community activities and how they are now. And it comes to, about women and all that. Go from to go from two people. People going, but what the Edo State government, for example, had done in some area is taking some leadership of these people. You call them tall. They may not see themselves as tall. How many of them has beaten you while you're moving on the street? I doubt. But what they have done is organizing them, maybe them organizing themselves better and coming with a name and telling them, okay, get this thing, pay to the government through an organized IGR, board internal revenue. It's like a contract. Take a certain what you're supposed to say, but not exceeding this amount being allocated. You know, and these people come together, redeploy themselves, and collect, remit to so body, and so body remit back to government. That exactly is what you'll be showing. So what you now see more, you'll see more of our people being organized, moving together as a team. You have road transport, you have professionals on wheel, you have a Kugbe venture, in different capacity where they are operating. You understand? The one that concerns the driver welfare is among themselves. They do what they call this either daily contribution at the end of the year. They share it among themselves. They buy cow, they buy rice. That one is their own soul. It has nothing to do with government. The one that also have to do with government have also been able to put themselves together. So just to say that the issue of talking, my brother, the way, just as the country, the world itself has been advancing. The youth have been advancing, getting used to internet services. They are growing different skills and different characters. But thank God that of Edo State has been well managed and they are not as bad as you talked about. You talked about the security apparatus. One, state government is just by name chief security officers. The federal government are the one in charge of security. And the state had nothing or little to do when it really comes to securing states. But what they can do, you talked about security vote, for example. Now, there must not be war in Edo State for security funds to be expended. That is the reason why we must continue to applaud Adams Aliyu Oshamole. If there are votes for security votes, and he's been able to judiciously use the security vote to make sure all are sundry, both the traditional institutions, for example, people at different communities, the police are being supplied or assisted in their own way to encourage them buying more weapons and having vehicular to go around and making sure there is no violence and there are no killing. Oh, must there be war first? You want us to be like Borno State before you begin to assess how the money is being used? My dear, this guy is using this money judiciously. Okay. And that is why there is no violence. And you also talked about, those last issue, he talked about more, you know, which was on candidature. You know, that our candidate is, you try to see him as an alien. No! This was a man who did his secondary school here, did his first higher institution, Nigeria and Ibadan. And in short, he's from a notable family, well known. You are not saying all of us must continually be local. No, there must be a stage in our life, in your family. You will tell me if you have, your father had 10 children. There was no way all of you are still living in Oredo, you were born in Oredo. Must be sent to our advanced. To go and bring in those things, all of us cannot get here. That was why likes like Obaseki had to go as far to United States to acquire more education and learn on how to invest. Now he has come to help us build our economy to a very large extent he had done, you know, in helping Edo State to making sure we are not in the list of states who can pay salary. Go and ask civil servants. As at 27, they've all received their salaries. Even pensioners, they have since received, and state governments don't owe any. Because somebody is helping us to say it is not about sharing the money, it's about reaching to everybody. Go and ask, you are here, take your phone and ask them. The August salary, they have since received about 5-6 days ago. Okay, so that is the managerial skill we are talking about. And we thank him, and though people know he's their son.
All right, if I know you, some key issues you probably want to respond to.
Yeah, I appreciate him very well for how he has spoken, very passionately. But if you ask me, it's a little bit misplaced because, first of all, calling someone a technocrat who is not a technocrat is an insult of technocrats. What's your qualification? What did you study to be referred to as a technocrat? We saw the affidavits, he did classics and in brackets fine arts. What has a technocrat got to do with fine arts?
Subsequently,
that's by the side. You see, let us talk about the real issues bothering the people. I was seeing yesterday a publication already signed by the Commissioner for Education, where the 168 male hostel built at the Yama University cost Edo people 1.88 billion naira. What does that tell you? One room cost us 11 million to build. We're seeing a situation where the Benin Water Storm project, 50 billion naira of taxpayers' monies, have gone into that project. And what have we seen? Holds dog around the city, with people even falling in those ditches where some have passed on. We're seeing a level where we have about the highest debt rates in the South-South region, getting to almost 300 billion. And the same person who was in charge, so to say, of the government's economic plan is the person who will want to make governor. Are we serious? What is of the education of this man you're talking about now in the job or in the advancement of the economy of Edo State? Edo people are the poorest they've ever been since the city in 1897. Ask the people. Ask the market women. Are they happy today? Monies are collected from them and are siphoned to private pockets while making brigands billionaires. Is that what you want to continue with? Go to more than 80% of the schools today. Our children are sitting on the bare floor to receive classes. Is that what he's telling us to continue with? Why do we want to make mockery of Edo people? Why do we want to make mediocre of common sense? We cannot continue to whitewash and assume people are dumb. Well, we see what's going on. Where the person who wants to be governor goes to bring his posters, banners from Lagos. What happened to the printers at Second Secular? Where we say that the jingles are done in Lagos. What happened to the people who do it here in Benin? How have you empowered Benin people with all the experience you have as a technocrat? These are the fundamental issues. The APC government in Edo State has driven Edo people to a state where their minds have become incapacitated. People can't develop any longer because of multiple taxation. We are going to extinguish those things. We are going to bring the system. You don't have to have a young man harassing my mother in the market for her to pay her levies or taxes. No. Where then is the place of technology? Why can't we develop an app for the Edo State government where business owners who have the required know-how can pay their levies by using technology? Why can't we have a system where our mothers can go to the banks to encourage a civilized system to pay their taxes and levies? Why do we have to engage derelicts to do shoddy businesses in an attempt to raise money for government? Edo State must move forward. We cannot continue like this. And that is why we are not just bringing up slogans. We are giving you a detailed plan on how we're going to achieve this. For example, for the first time, we're going to have a free trade zone in Edo State. That will open up Edo State. Edo State is the only state in Nigeria, in the South, that doesn't have a free trade zone. There are enormous benefits of having a free trade zone, of having an industrial zone, where people can come in and build their industries and pay no taxes to government, but are employing people, but of course they have to get registered with the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority. Edo State government provides it. You see, we have a very robust plan on how to industrialize Edo State. Look at blended breweries. Look at Edo Line. Look at the library I used to go to read at Sapler Road. It is a shame that we have destroyed what we should be proud of just because somebody else did it, and so you don't want to make it look like, oh, he performed. So you have deliberately destroyed what he created. That's a shame. Look at the fruit juice factory at Urumi. You can count all of them. Look at the question. You see, government must be serious with the people because power belongs to the people. A situation where the people don't have confidence in the government, that means there's no government. If my brother is telling me that 40 billion of taxpayers' monies have been spent as security votes, and yet the police command complain of getting only 5 months, then where does the money go to? Are we going to continue having someone flying with a chartered helicopter from government house to Yam every Friday? Is that what you want to continue with? You see, you don't need someone who has foreign education to bring development to your community. You don't even need magical education. What you need is a leader that has common sense. A leader that understands your problems. If I schooled in the US, how am I going to understand what the ECMA students are going through? Today now they are paying almost 300% increase in their school fees. And what has been done at the university? Meanwhile, we have spent over 26 billion building a museum at Yemo, and they call that a university. Who even owns the university? Look at what they have on Sapler. They call it a hospital, and there's no syringe. That is, I mean, you see, I call it a triumph of mediocrity.
Okay, let me pause you there. If I you see, you're taking some notes, and you want to hit him. Yeah.
If I want to go by taking note, I will continue to take note because my friend he's so PDP patriotic.
It's about people.
No, about you are deliberately blacklisting, and it's not telling where. But just to say, you talked about some amount of money being used to build one room in the hostel.
The records are there to show.
At Edo University. You know, first we want to thank Mr. Governor for having that initiative and bringing a kind of long university in Edo State, built and built by who did not personalize it to himself. One, who brought a document that showed, you said signed by a social commissioner. Signed by a commissioner. A commissioner will tell you I signed it. Don't propaganda of PDP. We know
no, but that's
meaning he can, of course, use the word as didn't want to use the word silent was the best answer. But says that this thing we know the opposition for, and this is not how to be in an opposition. You know, just to do unnecessary blackmailing. But today, that I employ Edo people. I employ people, my employment from professional to clean. Been created. Thank God for that. And who have always found a problem in seeking admission in other university, now alternative. Thank God for that administration. You talked about Edo State being indebted. As industrialized and to be the United States of America. In short, they are the most indebted country in the world. They live on borrowing. But must keep borrowing. But PDP government, even with all that going to this country of Nigeria, still, even the looted regime and the military regime, assuming with how that our increment we have in all booming while they were in power, with money that was exported back or imported together, we know the level Nigeria ought to be today. But they still put on top. Go and ask PDP states. In short, they borrow every second. He borrowed, but people what the money is being borrowed for. You talk about that type of mediocrity. That's what you called it. You have also insulted those people who were part of those construction, those who were joining those professional contractors to build that place, and that's not fair. It's demonstratory. Okay. I'll come back.
A break for the news. Now I'll come back to you in a moment. Yeah.
Thank you.
To conclude this discussion, wishing the Marshal standing by for the news update for this time. Join us again.
Hello there. My name is FX the Entertainer, and I'm here to introduce to you the first door-to-door delivery service in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. OrionExpress.com.ng. Guess what? Whether it's hotel bookings, airport pickups, food or drinks delivery, whatever delivery you want around Edo State, Nigeria, we'll get it to you at your doorstep. And it's very affordable. And of course, we are time conscious. Just log on to www.orionexpress.com.ng and you'll be glad you did. I specially recommend it, and I know that you'll be glad when you go through our website. Our details are on your screen, and guess what? We would make sure that you smile at every delivery. www.orionexpress.com.ng. Have a good day.
Good morning and welcome to the news update for this time. As the nation's economy continues to struggle in recession, the Federal Executive Council has approved a new draft 3-year borrowing plan to cover from 2016 to 2018. The draft plan is to ensure that Nigeria borrow at low interest rate and stimulate key sectors that will grow the economy. State House correspondent Ikaruata reports that Council also approved a new draft map for solid mineral sectors.
As early as 9 a.m., ministers have begun to arrive for the meeting scheduled to start at 10. By 9:30, almost all cabinet ministers were in the council chambers sharing pleasantries and waiting for the arrival of President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osibanjo. At 10 a.m., though, the meeting started with the arrival of the president. After over 5 hours of deliberations behind closed doors as usual, Information Minister Lai Mohammed and his counterparts from Education, Agriculture, Solid Mineral Resources and Finance Ministries all entered the council briefing room to address the press. Speaking, Finance Minister Mrs. Kemi Adeosun says council approved a 3-year borrowing plan for 2016 to 2018.
Our borrowing strategy was going to be very much focused on looking for concessional debt, low-cost loans, particularly from the multilateral agencies. So this plan that we've put forward today, which was approved by the Federal Executive Council and will be transmitted to the National Assembly for their approval, and the sectors in particular that these concessional loans will be applied to, of course, are the strategic sectors of the economy that will help to revive the economy. Power. There's significant amount of money allocated to power projects, particularly transmission.
Agriculture Minister Chief Audu Ogbe and his education counterpart Adamu briefed on contracts approved in their various ministries.
We had a memo before Council to renew the contract of a service provider which had been retained by the previous administration to administer the GS scheme.
A new library building for Unilag. The library in Unilag was built in 1964, and since that time, almost 52 years, there has not been any expansion or modernization.
In his speech, Minister of Solid Mineral Resources says Council also approved a new roadmap for the solid mineral sector. This, he explained, is aimed at repositioning the sector to contribute immensely to GDP.
The three other focus is really to ensure that value addition drives everything we do in this sector, and to reduce the manner in which raw minerals are exported from Nigeria, and emphasize beneficiation and processing, so that what we produce is also improved upon before we then embark on exportation.
He disclosed that Council also approved the change of his ministry's name from Ministry of Solid Mineral Resources to the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development. The 3 years borrowing plan approved by the Federal Executive Council, according to Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun, would actually help to put the nation on the path of economic growth even when recession is very much around. But some economic experts are cautioning that borrowing at a time when revenue is very low and the debt profile very high may also be very dangerous. From the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, I'm Iharo Atta, ITV News, Abuja.
There was pandemonium yesterday along New Lagos Benin Road in Benin City as workers who were disengaged from the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital and some civil society members were brutally assaulted by a group of thugs allegedly hired by the management of the hospital. Ibojekora reports that about 4 of the protesters were seriously injured, while 3 were alleged to have been arrested by the police in connection with the protests.
The protesters, who include members of the civil society group, said they were on a peaceful protest demanding the reinstatement of some staff who were dismissed from the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital. Trouble started when a group of thugs alleged to have been mobilized by the management of the hospital, led by the public relations officer, blocked them with different weapons to disperse them, which led to some of the protesters sustaining various degrees of injuries. They alleged that the act was carried out in the presence of some police officers who provided protection for the thugs, after which they decided to arrest some of the protesters and called on the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, to investigate the issue.
The police have arrested about 5 of our members. The president of Human Rights Watch, Comrade Barrister Abraham of Viawe, was attacked by stewards. We are not going to rest in our oasis.
They come with arms, they come with some other instruments, and they were victimizing us, fighting us. They destroy our cameras, they destroy some of our handsets, they turn the banners that we were using.
This Olotu statement has expired for a very long time. I didn't know the reason you still there.
In a swift reaction, the public relations officer, Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital Benin City, Stewart Efe, said the hospital management was not aware of the attack on the civil society group, but was told that some youths in the environment accosted the protesters on their way to the hospital. Mr. Efe pointed out that the management of the hospital does not have the powers to reinstate the disengaged staff.
It was the host community youth around will not have issue with them, and that they resisted them not to enter their community, so we are not connected with that issue at all.
Commenting on the incident in a telephone interview, Police Public Relations Officer, Edo State Command, DSP Theodore Okafor said he has not been briefed on what happened.
I have not been briefed even till now. That's why I've been calling DPO. Sometimes it goes, it doesn't feel, sometimes it doesn't go.
Igbo J. Ihoria reporting.
That's it on the news update for 9:30. Join us at about 12 noon for the world news. The complete part of DMI continues in a moment with Sonny Duke Okosun. Good morning.
Independent television, certainly the best.
Family sound. This year now my year, I must rise to the top to stay. To run well, the models, the designers, their styles. It's ITV Fashion on the Runway 2016. Wow! Are you a fashion designer? Do you run a fashion home or fashion school? Are you a boutique owner? Do you want the world to see what you can design or make? Do you want to showcase your product on the world? Then go get your form now for just 5,000 naira and contest for ITV Fashion on the Runway 2016. Be the local winners of fantastic prizes. You can get your forms at the following places: Independent Television and Radio, Glass House Airport Road, Benin City, or Pure Event Modeling Agency, number 10, Aipin Street of AK1 Road, Benin City. For sponsorship and participation, call these numbers: 080-5656-3675 or 080-9925-5771.
This event is powered by Polix Plastic Limited, manufacturers of household plastics, Alicia Paint, superior quality emulsion product of Alicia Chemicals, Lixora Purified Drinking Water, produced by Global Eye Communication Limited, Kilometer 12, Benin Sapler Road, Benin City.
ITV Fashion on the Runway. Fabrics, needle and thread. Creativity at the best.
Who wants more shop? He must go get it pay. If you believe in it, say you go buy motor. Say you go live good. Your handwork will bring progress.
Just before we conclude today's package of TMI, especially our discussion segment, we just take a last line of questions from our panelist, Comrade Osara Collins Amading and Obede Faloyisi. But gentlemen, once again, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You had some points to quickly anchor, yes, before we took that break.
Yes.
Okay, can we quickly do that now?
What my brother, some points he also gave. Now he talked about schools. There are no chairs. That is the problem. And that's why APC and Edo people are asking for continuity. The party that was able to build schools, let them feed those chairs you say are not there. No doubt, there may be some schools that they are lacking chairs for now. But the idea is also that the APC has built schools. And those schools, they should be the one to feed them with chairs. You say there are no chairs. And we, to an extent, are forced. Most of the schools were furnished. But furnished. That people are saying let there be continuity. He talked about banners and so many of these things being done outside Benin. I know sometimes it could be very intimidating seeing the goodwill that the Oba himself is enjoying. Most of those things are voluntary. They are done by its campaign organization. And if I volunteer to buy a very branded suit for Mr. Sonny Duke, will you not where I buy my suit? Certainly no. I can buy anywhere. And even when I may buy in your frontage, but I'm not showing you the receipt. You can that properly. They do. Who told those things were not done here? And the courtesy of in United States. No, you Mr. B and is living in should Mr. B because the person that we are put under risk. Much money. Tax technology. There are do tax technology. If you are giving a tax collection to a contractor, to contractor that is supposed to remit so amount to the government has brought in, you document it. That is where technology comes. You cannot ask a bus driver to go and pay his revenue through technology. How possible is that? There are things that are not doable. There are things that will continually remain manual. So what I am saying is that, good, APC itself has brought technology into tax system. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to record the success we have recorded so far. So we have a database of what we earn. That is why today we are telling the people at the IGRO level, this is what we have generated. Not that in PDP administration that we're not generating. It's on the ground of falsity, lying to the people. Even when they get 600 million, they will tell the people they only had 50 million naira.
Okay, all right. But if I do, let's take on this as we conclude. I'm really concerned about youth participation in this election, away from what the youths are known for, violence, snatching of ballot boxes, and all of those other. What are we doing to ensure that we reorientate? Because I've observed that youths in Edo State have told them, they have realized that they are major stakeholders, and so they are asserting themselves in this election. But it looks like the signals that we are getting is not palatable.
Well, I'm very sure that the signals you are getting is from the other side, maybe the side of the government. Because for the past 6 months, our party chairman and our youth leader, they organize sensitization workshop every last Friday of every month for all youth groups in the party. So those who even can't participate, on ground, they have WhatsApp groups that they organize in every local government council where we sensitize and conscientize young people. Our candidate has told us that nobody should carry a weapon for me. Don't fight anybody on behalf of Pastor Sagezi. Like, he has always said it. If you are caught, in any form of violence, you're on your own. And that is why he has continuously engaged young people that your weapon now is your voter's card, is your thumbprint. We will defeat and change Edo State with the power of our thumbprints and our voter's card, not the weapons you carry. Sadly, that has not been the case on the other side. We've seen all forms of intimidation and at very high level, but we're coming with a different plan. Edo people are about the most industrious set of young people in Nigeria today. But we want to take advantage of that great feat. We want to take advantage of the fact that they are responsible. We want to take advantage of the fact that they are knowledgeable. I want to deploy it in the right channel. Okay. We're going to have youths who are going to vote on election day and monitor their votes. Ensure the votes are counted, ensure it's not manipulated, and we'll stroll with the INEC officials to wherever they're collecting it. We'll be there with them. Edo youths have agreed that these elections are going to be peaceful. Mostly of the PDP. We want peaceful elections. Nobody is going to carry any weapon for anybody. Nobody is going to die. But we want to also appeal to the government to please borrow a leaf from the PDP on this plan. Encourage your youths to, they have just about a week to do so. Let them do it every day. Encourage them to take a cue from what the PDP is doing. Let us agree that there should be no violence.
Okay. That's the program for today on TMI. Our time is up. Maybe just a word from you on the youth issue. Just a word.
Yes, I want to thank my APC. Consistently, we have been appealing to our people not to be violent, and I am happy they will not be violent. Even with the opposition destroying our banners, our posters, they have not reacted, and we want them to continue to do that.
All right.
Because you see most of our banners, on top of the banner, they will paint it and write "Vote PDP." That is intimidating us already, and we have resolved not to be silenced into violence.
All right.
And we have to them that we are all one family.
Yeah.
Election will remain one family.
Yeah.
And we know that we conscientize and mobilize on that day that all votes will be counted in favor of APC and Godwin Obaseki.
September 10th is a Saturday. Is a day we're all looking forward to. Remember, at 1:30 we have Countdown to Edo Decides 2016 live here in the studio. Abiodun Mudashiru will be the anchor for today's program, where we'll look at all the emerging issues as far as the Edo State Governorship Election 2016 is concerned. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
And to you watching at home, we appreciate you for your time with us on TMR. And those behind the camera, we thank you for your commitment to TMR. My name is Sonny Duke Okosun, thanking you for staying with us. You have a great day ahead and a great week ahead. Bye for now.